What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Visor Dan channel. This is round 10, last race of stage 1 of the championship in the Manufacturers Cup. I'm driving Porsche 911 RSR. We're going to start with the in-car shot, but we also have the TV shots too. Starting 4th, I'm starting on medium tires. Everyone else in front of me is starting on soft, so let's go. So this is the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona track. Real track. Formula 1 races on this also. Trying to warm up my tires a little bit before we get into turn 1. Watching my rear view screen. So this is a 17 lap race, and there will be 3 pit stops in this race. Sorry how long the race will be, and this is a little over 30 minutes, but strategy is playing a lot into this race, and I didn't want you to miss all of it, so I appreciate you watching. So I've always complained about qualifying, not having really a good spot. Kind of figured out some of it here, so it was the outside of the second row. So as you can see, I'm keeping up with the first 3 spots. And what I'm doing now is just giving a little TV shot, but I'm also checking out what other, watching this replay because I don't know during the race what other ones, other competitors are running their tires on, if they're running mediums or softs or what. It looks like everybody's on softs except for me in the top, at least the top 10. The whole plan here is that I'm gonna go maybe a lap or 2 longer than everyone else in front of me. Get out of sequence, so I'm not in the same pit stop as they are if they're all bunched up together. A little bit of a slide going in there. This is really tricky. You ride the curbs just a tiny bit, but not so much that you might get a penalty or you might upset the car and lose some speed coming off of them. As you see, someone's already gotten a penalty, so I don't know if that was from cutting the track or hitting somebody. But I'm very glad that I didn't have any kind of first lap accident. So, all right, let's lap 2. So my tires should be fully warmed up. The guys in front of me not getting away too horribly bad, but I do know the guy behind me's got softs on too. So at this point in the race, I'm happy that he's not totally on my bumper. I just got to make sure everything's smooth and maximize my momentum going through corners. As you see, he's taking that corners a little sharper. The ideal line is exactly where I'm going, but he's using up his tires a little bit more than me by doing that. So the required tire in this race you have to use the hard tire. Everybody's going to do that. So my whole idea of starting on mediums is to get out of sequence with the guys in front of me as long as I'm staying with them, which looks like I am. Then my next pit stop, which I hadn't figured out what I'm going to do yet, is to change probably onto hards and do a long stint on hards, and then the last 2 pit stops go to softs. Because what I'm thinking right now is that if everyone started on softs, they're going to stay on softs through probably the majority of the race and switch on to hard towards the last couple laps when they have to do it, depending where they are in the race. And when I'll have the fastest tires on and a very light fuel load. So not much change. The front pack has gotten away from me just a tiny bit, but nothing too crazy that can't change in a split second. Someone messing up or overdriving, which looks like 3rd place is really trying to get past 2nd. I got to keep an eye on 4th place behind me because I know he's got a little bit better top speed than me, but I end up making it up in the corners. But since this is a 17 lap race, it's kind of a little bit of a long lap, so that's why it's a longer clip today. It's like, yeah, the 3rd place kind of got wide there for a second. 4th place is right on me, but I didn't want you all to miss what strategy you can do for your race. But I don't want to give it away. No spoilers here. Let's just watch the race. Should have been on the curb there. So I'm doing a lot of trail braking. I did practice a lot before, about a half an hour before we started this race, before we qualified. So I got my setup exactly the way I want it. And I'm running pretty competitive times on warm-up before we qualified, so compared to everyone else. And I'm feeling pretty confident that first, second, and third are not running away when they're on a more superior tire than me, and we're in the same fuel load. So things are looking good for me right now. Just got to pick and choose when I want to pit and what tire I actually really want to go with hard or not. Maybe I want to go back. Maybe I want to stay on mediums, but we'll see. All right, starting lap 4. Like I said, this is round 10, so this is the very last race of stage 1 out of 4 stages that we have this season. And I'll talk more about the changes coming up in an upcoming video on how everything's going to be split up going forward in this championship, and what updates that Palafini Digital is actually making to the game. And I was actually shocked how clean everybody's racing this race. Usually it's bumper cars, with a little wide there. But as you can see, so since we're on lap 4, everyone's playing quite nice. It looks like they're probably playing the same game I am, which is pace yourself, stay fast, but stay paced, don't make any mistakes, wait till the pit stops start kicking in, and then see where everyone's at after a couple pit stops. It looks like third place and second place, especially third, is probably worn out his soft tires a little early. Because usually with soft tires, they usually pit on lap 5, or the start of lap 5 or the end of lap 5. So if you watch the leaderboard on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see, if you see a tire come up, like see first place and see if he pits, you'll see his tire compound as he goes in the pits. So, and I'm pretty sure he's on softs. The pit road is right here on the right. So there he went. So you see softs, and shows how much fuel he's going in with the pits, 66 liters. So he decided to pit already. So he's not even starting. He pitted at the end of lap 4. And that tells me the 2 guys in front of me are probably now starting to struggle, and their tires are starting to get a little soft, kind of squishy. He's coming out of the pits right now, so he's already made his pit stop, probably didn't take any fuel. And I think he's back on softs again. And me, everything's kind of playing into my hands at the moment, where I'm on medium, still staying with the competitive soft tire competitors, and it looks like third place is really starting to struggle now. So if he's struggling this bad and I'm already starting to catch up to him, it means he's pitting this lap. But I gotta also gauge the guy behind me, making sure he doesn't get close enough that he doesn't try to take advantage of me being bunched up from the guy in front. So see how he got a little squirrely? Just nice and smooth. Now right here, thinking about pushing the issue and maybe doing a dive bomb, but I'm still too far back. It's way too early in the race to try that. I don't want to get a penalty. I'm pretty assumed that he's going in the pits now, so he's going to get out of my way as soon as he goes in the pits. And I'm assuming first place is going to go into pits too now, because they're both on the same tires. Yeah, he's really struggling. Look at that. I had to back off a little bit because I was almost hit him. He just jumped the curb. He should have a penalty for that. But it looks like I'm going in the pits the same time as him. So here's the thing, and I know I said that I was wanting to wait an extra lap. I probably got a little too overzealous and like maybe got pushed into the pits at that point because he was coming over and I was trying to pass him at the same time. I probably should have stayed out an extra lap, like I said I was going to. And I made a little bit of a judgment call to go ahead and come in early. But now I'm on the hard, so I'm on the slowest tire, but I didn't take any fuel, so I've got half a tank. So it's kind of evening out a little bit, which is a tiny bit slower than the medium. And I just got hit by the Audi behind me. and don't think he got a penalty for that, which is kind of messed up, but oh well. The whole point is to stay ahead of him. So the hard tires take a good lap, at least a lap and a half to warm up. So I want to try and keep him back behind me as much as I can, because he's probably on a softer tire. More like he's on soft still. That's probably why he's so close to me. But I want to stay with that guy who was initially in third and second place, which is that, I think that's an Aston Martin. But, you know, I was kind of second guessing myself, since like I should have probably come in a lap after or 2 laps after, but I decided to just make a judgment call and come in right then and there and get my hard tires on and do kind of a long stint. As you can see, the Audi is can outbrake me because he's got more stickery rubber than me. I'm not going to fight it, let him go. It's not end of the world because they're going to use up their tires a lot faster. And I'm definitely going longer on these tires. I'm not going to go in 5 laps on hards. So I want to burn off the rest of my remaining fuel. The car will get faster even though I've got hard tires on. But I'm not going to get that squishy feeling as they're wearing out their soft tires. Whoever else still has them on, they're going to do their best to get past me. But eventually I'm going to catch them back up, because their tires are going to fall off a cliff. Alright, so see other people are starting to go in, so I went from 7th to 5th. A little wide there, you're supposed to be right in the corner, the curbs there. Allowed the other Porsche to get behind me. My tires should be fully warm by now. Still not going to push the issue, but you can see the guy who was in my 4th place is now directly behind me in 7th when we started this race. So I know that I'm still with the leading group, even though I came in a lap earlier than I said I was. Look at, see, he's right on me. So he undercutted me. So he's right beside me on my left-hand side. You can see the radar on the bottom right. I'm going to go ahead and let him go, just I'm going to stick with him. And then here comes this Toyota who decided to dive bomb me and hit me inside the quarter panel, which I'm not sure if he got a penalty for that or not. I don't think he did, but he muscles his way in there, so nobody got really any damage. And I know he's wasting his tires by doing that, and eventually he'll have to pit. But that 6th place, I want to stay with him because he was in that lead. He was in that same group I was in. See the guy behind me is going to the pits now. So this track actually is used every year as the test track for Formula One. Everybody gets together, they have a couple weeks where they do testing, but this is the most technical track for them to test. And it's kind of at least the weather's not crazy cold when they start testing. It's somewhat warm, but this is the track that all the teams use. So it gets a lot of track time. So I'm keeping my eye on the first couple places. If you look at the track map, in the top right-hand corner of the screen, not too far away, a couple corners is first place. But I know that they're on soft still. So if they're that far away, then they're probably still on softs. And they're probably planning to use the hard tire at the very end of the race, when I will be on the soft tire. So I still got probably a couple more laps of fuel to burn off. And as you can see, I'm just starting to edge up to them again. So they're starting to lose their pace a little bit. And my hard tires and light fuel load are now starting to be a little bit quicker than them with soft tires. Their tires are starting to wear off. As you can see, somebody's starting to pit again. So whoever's in second went to pit. 6th and 7th just pitted. and I'm definitely not pitting with everyone else. I'm waiting until my fuel load goes all the way down as much as I can. There's that Audi again. So I was able to get out in front of him, and he has a car in between him and I, so he has to still get around that guy. So I'm assuming he's back on softs again. He's probably waiting to the end to go on the hards. I think most people just think, I mean, I don't know if they test this out or not in certain races. I'm sure they do. But soft tires is not fun to have when you got to go in every 5 laps. You tend to make, where this is a 3-stop race, I was trying to make it possibly to 2. It just wasn't possible with the strategy that I did. But, you know, standard's 3 stops with this race. If you have to do 4 because of soft tires, unless you're super, super quick, you got to get a big enough gap to where when you go for that last pit stop, you're still back. You haven't lost a place. So it wasn't worth it for me to start on softs and stay on softs and just do what everyone else is doing, putting the hards on at the end. I want to minimize my pit stops, and I want to keep my fuel load as low as possible. So at the end of the race, I'm light and I have new tires, or semi-new. Okay, coming through here, not to jump over the curves too bad. Pit entrance is right there on the right. We're gonna go one more lap. This is now my in lap, so I want to maximize my speed. I got that Audi, finally got around that other car, so now he's hunting me down. But I want to keep him behind me. I don't want him to get in front of me. So if I slow him up, that's gonna slow him up his next pit stop. Because see, right now, when you have soft tires, like everyone else does, you want to maximize those tires, and you don't want to be held up by anybody. If you're held up, then it was a waste of time to put soft tires on. The only person should have soft tires is the one that has nobody in front of them and nobody they're fighting with behind them. You got a clear track, so you can just maximize your time. Otherwise, why'd you put those on? Unless you're fighting for the first place, and they're right there next to you, there's no reason to put that on and while you're bunched up in a pack. If you can't get around people quick. And I'll show you, demonstrate that when I get to my last couple pit stops, because that's when I have to turn it up and start passing people, because if I don't, my tires are eating themselves up and I'm not maximizing my speed difference between everyone else. And now he's getting a little close, but I'm going to cover the middle, make him make a decision. He's not going to do it. Keep him behind me, so I know now, unless I make a mistake, as you can see the guy in front of me just did, he has to stay behind me unless he's going to do a dive bomb, which in this part of the section of the track, you'd be stupid to do it unless you know pretty sure the guy in front of you is going to move away. My fuel says I have a little over a lap left. I'm not going to, I could probably go again. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to try to beat him to the pits, which I do. So I just passed him going to the pit road, so I just made up another spot. Alright, so now I'm putting on soft tires. I'm going to fill up with all the fuel I need to get to the end of the race, and to see if I can't push it without making another pit stop and get to the end. So usually I overcompensate on fuel. I did it again. I think I gave myself an extra lap, half to a lap of fuel more than I needed. I should have just put 6.5 liters in, or 6.5 laps in. Alright, so now I'm looking at the track, see if anyone's coming behind me. No one is, so I'm going to go ahead and get over and line myself up to turn 1, and now start turning up the wick. I've got a semi-light car, you know, I've got, you know, not so much 3/4 of a tank, but fresh soft sticker tires. Now I have to not get held up by anybody and start passing people left and right. So that's my whole objective right now, not to get stuck and maximize my tires. And my car will get faster and faster as the light fuel goes down. But I have now 5 laps with really good sticky tires, and if I want to push it, I've got to do 6 to get to the end. And right now I don't know how good my tires are going to feel once I get to maybe possibly have to make a last pit stop just for the last 2 laps, so we'll see. Get really close right here, decide to back off a little bit, cut underneath him, get back on his tail, stay in the draft, and I'm going by now. not going to waste any time. I've got a better braking distance than him because I've got better rubber. All right, there's one down. As you see, first place just went in the pits again. 11th place, I'm all over him now. Should I push the issue? Nope, I'm gonna sit back. This is a tight corner. Going into the chicane, which I can't stand, by the way. I wish they put it back to the old track section. He's going to the pits. That's one less person I gotta worry about. Now getting to draft the guy in front of me. So right now everything's starting to work out to plan, at least for this stint. And there's that Audi again. But I have a feeling he's got to be on either hard tires or medium tires, or maybe softs. I'm not sure, but if I catch him pretty quick, then he's not on softs because he just came out of the pits. So I gotta get rid of this, I think it's an Infinity in front of me. So I'm catching up to the Infinity. Not close enough right here. Let's see if I can get close to his bumper, maybe make an inside move going up to the next corner uphill. Thinking about it, thinking about it. Nah, I'm gonna wait. Get back on his tail. Long right-hander. The whole point now is just getting his draft. Do the same thing he did from the previous lap. Just outbrake him into this next tight left-hand corner. Alright, there's another one down. Alright, I got 3 cars right in front of me. They're all battling each other. Now I'm like, alright, I gotta pick my moment here. Is anybody gonna go in the pits because we're coming back around to the pit road? Alright, in-car camera shot. Starting to apply the pressure. Other people going to the pits. I'm not. There's 2 cars in the pits. There's 2 more spots, and I get to hang onto the Audi and follow the Audi all the way down the main straight and get him in the first corner. And you can see the front leaders are just now coming out of the pits. But now I'm back where I started. So we're on lap 13. Other people are pitting. I'm not sure where that Audi, what tires he's on, but he's kind of staying with me. But we'll see how long he hangs. But I know that car in front of me is one of the top leaders. I think he was in first place when we started, so we started on pole. I just set my best split time for that sector. That's what that purple was. So I've set the best first sector time out of everybody so far. I got half a tank of fuel. Audi's still sticking with me. And I'm just trying to make headway on third place right now. It looks like he went off the track a tiny bit. There's some dust there. That was my personal best going to that split, but it wasn't the fastest split. Sector 2, now we're in Sector 3. So I've got my brake bias back again, so I've got like 3 clicks back to the rear brakes because I'm using the rear brakes to help me turn a little bit, and I'm doing trail braking also at the same time. My sensitivity for my steering is all the way max, so the tires will turn when I want them to turn, and they're not wearing out the front tires by doing that. So I've got the car exactly the way I want it. That Audi's a little close. Drafted me. Do I want to get out? See if he can't get out of my draft. He's not catching me that fast on the straight, so I think I'm safe. Yeah, dip out a little bit just to make sure he doesn't try it. Ride the corner exactly where I want to do. Ride the next corner. He's getting close. But the more he's behind me, the more he's wearing out his front tires. Third place is not getting away, so it means I got a good place. I just set the fastest sector one time again. Now I'm looking at my tires. My left side tires are always going to be worn more than the right because we have a lot of right-hand corners on this track, especially a long right-hand corner a few times. My tires still feel good. And I'm contemplating, can I go 2 more laps? 2.5 laps now, because we're at the halfway part of lap 15 or 14. Still keeping the Audi off me. He's not gonna try and dive bomb like he did before. He's too far back. Definitely staying with 3rd place. Right now I gotta make a decision. Am I going to stay out? And I know I will be on really sketchy tires at the end of this race, but I don't want to blow a podium. So right now I'm trying to make a decision. Do I go in? Do I stay out? If I'm going to go in, I need to do it soon. So I decide I'm going to stay out. So it's like, let's do it 1 more lap. And see, and now make my decision after this lap how these tires will feel. Because I got plenty of fuel to go to the end. The thing is, the front people have not gone to their hard tires yet, because that's why they're so far ahead of me right now. They have not done it. So they go in for hard tires. I stay on the tires I'm at. It's almost like me being on hard tires, because the tires can start getting worse. And it doesn't matter how light my fuel load is now. If my tires are overheating, which those left side tires look like they're getting kind of red, I'm losing lots of tread. It might be worse than just going in and getting another thing at soft tires and not getting any splash of fuel and getting out and just going really, really quick those last 2 laps. So I'm keeping an eye on the leaderboard because I'm gonna see if those guys are pitting. That's probably what they're doing. They're gonna stick hard tires on, just like I said, and finish up on those on the last lap. So I'm trying to see if anyone's gonna go into pit. That's 2nd, 3rd, and then I'm in 4th. So not far away. That's a pit stop. Somebody goes into pit stop, I'm probably gonna be right next to them when they come out. So my tires started feeling a little on the soft side and squishy. You might see how my start to slide a little bit. Yep, right there. And I decide, yep, 2nd place just went in for his tires. I'm gonna go in too. So the guy who's in 4th is the guy who was behind me at the start of this race. So remember I was telling you in the very beginning, I was like, that's the guy I want to stay with. At least stay in the top 3. All right, 2 laps, and that's it. Less than 2 laps. Light car, plenty of traction with these tires. Now I gotta do the exact same thing I did last time, which is I gotta make these tires count, and I've gotta go as fast as I possibly can, and don't get held up by anybody. Getting close, getting close, getting close. That's the guy that started 3rd at the beginning of the race. Get really close. I did a little bit, I think a little bit of a tap, but wasn't much, and was able to get around him. I think he just lost control of his car just a tiny bit. Excuse me. Alright, I gotta make this stick. Come on, come on. Right on him. Same thing as before, getting the draft. Outbrake him into the next corner. And that's the guy who forced the issue at the beginning of the race. So payback is not so fun, is it? Alright. Fellow Porsche driver, this is the Manufacturer's Cup, so I don't want to do anything to ruin his race, but I do want to get by him, because we're getting ready to go into the last lap. And as you can see, the other cars are right there in front of me. Oh, and they pitted. Alright, so I'm in his draft. So those people who just pitted in the last lap, they just put hard tires on. So not only are they going to be slow, they're going to have to milk it all the way around the track and hope they keep their distance. So there's 3rd place. So 3rd place is actually the guy who started in 5th behind me. So I definitely want to catch him. And I'm running out of time. But I know he has slow tires on, so this has got to be like a qualifying lap right now. I've got light fuel and fresh tires. I just set the fastest sector one time of the race. That was almost 4/10 faster than any other lap I've done before. A little bit of a slide there, a little oversteer. He is right in my sights. I don't want straights, I want corners. Corners is going to make me help get next to him. That was a good line there. Using all the curb. Here's the next one I can make some time up. Probably almost a second here. Not in his draft enough to make a dive down to the next left-hand corner. This is going to come down to the wire. Oh, it's so close. Only a few more corners to go. There's first and second. They're out of my reach. Right now, I just want to get a podium. There he is. Don't jump the corners. Make him jump him. Get on it hard. Go, 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 go. Getting his draft. And I didn't have enough time. The start-finish line was right here, man. It was a fun race, but if I had to do it again, I would have stayed out 2 more laps on those medium tires at the start. I think that made up a podium right there. I would have been in front of him, probably challenging second place at the end. Had a fun time. That's the end of round 10. On to the next stage, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Stay safe.